Hello there, everyone. Back again from another video. Today we'll be responding to this piece of shit right here, where he's Simon Whistler. This piece of shit. Basically, he made a new video about Egypt, talking shit and spreading bullshit about Egypt. We're going to respond to this bald fuck. And that's it. And this guy, a lot of people don't know this. He hates he might, or at least he looks down upon the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. I'm going to respond to this bald guy, Simon Whistler. He has multiple channels, by the way. There is a channel by the name of What I Found Out Today. There's another channel by the name of Top Tens. There's a channel, and there's this channel right here, Visual Politic NN, when he talks about politics. Basically, and from what I could tell, like, he probably hates Putin too. Though I need to tell you something, Simon. Putin is superior than Obama. Okay, let's respond to this piece of shit. It's a relatively short video. It's a 10-minute video. It's basically. Wait, hold on. Yeah, it's recording. Okay. It's basically like he talks about like how Egypt is becoming a secular country and shit. Firstly, it's not a secular country. Fuck secularism. Thirdly, Sisi is not secular either. And if a Muslim says he's secular, he doesn't really know what that means. Okay, like if you ask him, hey, do you think that Egypt shouldn't be a Muslim country at all, and should say when someone asks if Egypt is a Muslim country, it's not a Muslim country, they will say fuck no. They would say fuck no. They would say no, Egypt is a Muslim country. Okay, so no, most Egyptians aren't ashamed of themselves, but unfortunately there are some Egyptians that are ashamed of themselves. But the vast majority of Egyptians aren't ashamed of themselves. Let's continue with the video.
With over 95 million inhabitants, Egypt is the biggest.
Whoa. We're at our first mistake here. Egypt is 100 million, firstly. Okay, it's not 85 million. Okay? To cut the bullshit.
Country in the Arab world. And yes,
Yahoo.
I know what you're thinking. Aren't Indonesia and Pakistan bigger than Egypt?
Yeah, but yeah, I know what.
Are they Muslim too? Well, yes, they are, Divya, but make no mistake, there is a difference between Arab and Muslim. Islam is simply a religion, while Arabic is a culture, a race, and especially a language.
Well, Arab is, well, no, there are some Arabs with like multiple shades. Like for example, like most Arabs are my skin tone, yes. But there are some really white Arabs. There are some brown Arabs that are darker than me. Some Arabs come in different colors. It's more of an ethnicity than more of an accurate term, I guess. But anyway, yeah, okay. Well, at least you're not at least you didn't say, oh, Arab is not a race. At least at least you acknowledge it. At least it's like an ethnic group. Well, it is an ethnic group.
And inside this Arab world, Egypt isn't only the most populous country, it's one of the most influential. This is why the Arab League has its headquarters on the Tahrir Square in the very center of Cairo. And why
that square
news like this is so worrying.
Death toll in Egypt rises to 305 people in their deadliest terrorist attack.
Nonetheless, despite the latest news, Egypt is changing faster than we might think. Maybe you remember the Arab Spring. In 2011, thousands
that Arab Spring. Fuck that shit. All of the problems today are happening today is because of that shit.
of people protested for days to overthrow Hosni Mubarak, the dictator.
Fuck you, dude. No, seriously, fuck you. No, Hosni Mubarak is not a dictator. He's a good person. Like a lot of people that came down the 2011 revolution are a bunch of idiots. They didn't know a lot of politics. The reason that they came down is because it was trendy and cool.
Who ruled the country back then. A year later, the Muslim Brotherhood gains power, ready to turn the
Yeah, yeah, fuck them.
country into the pyramids of an Islamic republic. But now,
Ah, it's already Egypt is already an Islamic. Um, secondly, it is also a republic. It's called like it's called the Arab Republic, and and the laws of Islam are enforced in Egypt. They are in the constitution. Now, yes, there are some rules, but but the vast majority of the time, yes, we follow the rules. Like for example, like in the constitution of Egypt in Article 2, I think our laws are come from Islam. So yes, it's a Muslim republic. I don't know why a lot of people say it's a secular country. It's not a secular country, and some Egyptians say it's a secular country, but those people are idiots either because you don't know what secularism means. Secularism means basically to be like America. Like for example, like when you get married in America, you don't go to a mosque or a church to get married. You go to like an office and you get your papers done. In Egypt, you have to go to a mosque in order to be considered married, and you could get your papers done in the mosque. That's basically the difference. And Muslim law, like um, for example, like doesn't allow like Muslim women to marry and kafir men, basically. Uh, in like Muslim rules in Muslim ruled countries. But in secular countries, anyone could marry anyone, including homosexuals. So no, Egypt is not a secular country. I don't know. Now I know you want it to be a secular country. I know like you want the Arabs to be a bunch of cocks, basically. Is it like hate the religion, like love Americans the West, like lick its ass more than Muhammad Bradai. But no, that won't happen, or at least I will try. I will try to prevent that from happening.
in 2017, Egyptian politics are taking a 180-degree shift.
Know that. I mean, like you don't know shit. Like, oh yeah, by the way, most of the people that talk about Egyptian politics, most of the Americans or the like people from like European countries, most of them don't know what they're talking about, including this guy. This guy is a fucking idiot. No, Egypt isn't taking a 180-degree turn. Turn for in 2017 from 2017. No, it's fuck no, fuck no.
Egyptian government closes 27,000 mosques in move to fight terrorism.
So now the
Um, uh, I don't know. I don't know the source of that. Like, I never saw any news of that either. Like if I saw the news of seeing like Egypt closing 200, 2,000, 20,000, 25,000 mosques. I never saw that in the Egyptian news, and if that happened, like I'm pretty sure it would be all over the news. And LCC is Muslim anyway, and the pretty and I don't know like the full story, and you probably don't either. But maybe there is. But if it happened, if this thing that you're talking about happened, um, I'm pretty sure there's a reason other than hating religion or secularism for closing down the mosques. Um. So yeah, basically yeah. Um. So yeah, like maybe probably if that's true. By the way, if assuming that story that you said is true, for example, like those mosques might not have a whole lot of people like going to them, so that's why like they closed them for now, because no one is going to them. So there's no use to like send an imam there, an imam or like a sheikh there to work there, uh, or like they don't have like they aren't like licensed, I guess. Yeah. Uh, or like some of them are actually like hiding terrorists under the mosque, so they close them for now to check and investigate, or like to in order to like kick out the terrorists from the mosque. It might be like a broad variety of reasons why those mosques were closed down. Assuming that your story is true. Well, the gate respondent is true, though it's probably not, since whole lot of American news websites and British news websites are full of shit that don't know what they're talking about when it comes to Egypt.
The question becomes, well, how did we get here? And is Egypt becoming a secular country? Well, today,
Fuck that shit!
we're going to answer those questions, but before we do, let's take a look back at the history.
The Muslim Brotherhood.
There are three names
Morsi could go fuck himself.
who define Egypt's history in the last 60 years: Nasser, Sadat, and Mubarak.
Omar.
These three politicians have a common ingredient. They were all dictators that followed the principles of Arab
You dude. No, they weren't dictators. I'm fucking tired of this shit. I'm fucking tired of this shit. I'm tired of people saying, oh, the Egyptian presidents are dictators. No, people chose them, you piece of shit. People chose them, you piece of shit. And here's the thing, most Egyptian people actually love these men. Okay? You idiot. Fuck you. Okay? Secondly, you bald fuck. Stop talking about stuff that you don't know anything about, you piece of shit. Yeah, like what you said is untrue. As weren't dictators, people chose them. By the way, people loved them, and if you ask all of the Egyptian people, what do you think of these men? About Nasser? What do you think about Gamal Abdel Nasser, Anwar Sadat, Hosni Mubarak? They'd say they're good. So yes, the vast majority of Egyptians, or the majority of Egyptians, love these men. Maybe some people don't like Mubarak, some people don't like Gamal Abdel Nasser, but Anwar Sadat, everybody loves him. And the vast majority of Egyptians love Gamal Abdel Nasser. The majority of Egyptians love Hosni Mubarak. So yes, there are some Egyptians that fucking hate him. Yes, that is true. But the majority of Egyptians have nothing against Mubarak. Some might disagree with him. Yes. Some might disagree with Gamal Abdel Nasser, but in general, yes. Overall, the Egyptian people think these men are good. Overall, Gamal Abdel Nasser and Mubarak are human beings. Yes, they did some mistakes, but overall, the good things that they did outweigh the bad things that they did.
socialism. This was the trendy ideology back then, a cocktail that
Fuck communism. No. Gamal Abdel Nasser was communist, but like he wasn't like an atheist. Fuck socialism. Well, not fuck all of socialism. Some socialism is nice. But like hardcore communism. Fuck hardcore communism.
combined a centralized economy, authoritarian leadership, and secularism. But make no
Secularism. Dude, why you keep on saying that Egypt back then was secular? Fuck that shit. They weren't secular. Already, stop spreading bullshit, you dumb moron.
mistake. As socialist as they claim to be, none of those leaders had any problem with changing their rubles into dollars as soon as the Soviet Union disappeared. In fact,
Dude, we aren't socialist. We never said we are. We have like socialist policies, yes, but we have like a mixed economy. Like for example, like you dumb idiot. Like for example, like we in Egypt we have like a mixed economy. Like for example, like some people, some companies are owned by people, like owned privately by people, and some companies are owned by the government. So yeah, so yes, like the people have the freedom to own their own companies. You idiot. Um, but the government owns some companies too. Like they have the freedom to own some companies too. So yes, we aren't a communist, we aren't socialist, but when people like you, for an example, like when people people like you, or people like right-wing retards mention socialism, what do you mean by that? Is you mean communism basically? But no, Egypt is not socialist as a way you think it is, or capitalist either. Like you can't sell like donkey meat in Egypt. Um. So yeah, basically, we aren't communist or capitalist. We're a mixed economy. The Egyptian government owns some companies. The people own some companies privately, like capitalism. Like individuals have the right of ownership of their own very own companies. So yeah, we're at the 2 minute mark.
Sadat recognized the State of Israel, and during the 1980s, Egypt
Yeah, he recognized it because he had really no choice in the matter. It was too risky to continue the war with Israel. That's why he recognized it. But if he was like, if it wasn't, if there was no risk at continuing the war of Israel, he would have continued the war and destroyed Israel. You piece of shit.
was already an ally of America.
Fuck no. We're not allied to no one. We're not sellouts to no one, you piece of shit. We don't hate America. Don't get that wrong. We don't hate America. We don't like Obama either, but we don't hate America as a people. We don't hate America as a country itself. We aren't sellouts to America, and that's pretty much it. There's nothing wrong with loving America. We have nothing against that. Um, but we aren't like sellouts to it either.
And as you know, befriending America in this part of the world puts you on the radical Islamist bullseye.
We aren't friends of America. Stop doing shit like that. Stop strawmanning us, and stop like spreading lies about Egypt. We're not allies. We're not enemies either. Okay, so cut the bullshit. And I'm tired of people like you spreading bullshit about Muslims and in Muslim countries like Egypt. Anyway, continue.
This is why Mubarak prosecuted every Islamic movement. Part of this repression was to
No. He's not against Islam. He's against the terrorists. He prosecutes terrorists, not Islamists as you think they are. But no, like but he prosecutes the Islamists that are terrorists.
avoid the terrorist attacks that became pretty frequent in the 1990s. But Mubarak also had other
Fuck the terrorists.
motivations. He wanted to stop any potential challenge to his authoritarian rule. And guess who the only organized group who could replace him was? Well, yes, that would be the Muslim Brotherhood.
Despite being acclaimed
What? Dude, wait. What did you say?
Stop any potential challenge to his authoritarian rule. This is why Mubarak prosecuted every Islamic movement. Part of this repression was to avoid the terrorist attacks that became pretty frequent in the 1990s. But Mubarak also had other motivations. He wanted to stop any potential challenge to his authoritarian rule. And guess who the only organized group who could replace him was? Well, yes, that would be the Muslim.
Dude, stop! No! Stop spreading bullshit like that. No, fuck no. That's what you just said is fucking bullshit. What you just said is fucking bullshit, man. No, where are the sources, dude? Where did you get that from, dude? Where did you get that bullshit from? From your ass? No, I never heard of that argument before. Fuck no, dude.
Muslim Brotherhood.
Despite being a clandestine movement
No, is they one because they're a bunch of because the Egyptian people at that time were a bunch of fucking idiots.
since 1954, the Muslim Brotherhood is the most organized
Most of them, not all Egyptians, most of them.
grassroots
What? Not even most of them, some of them.
organization since Egypt's independence until today. They have thousands of members and millions of sympathizers. Their goal is to turn Egypt into an Islamic republic, compliant with Sharia law and the principles of the Quran.
Nonetheless, the
Dumbass, you dumbass. No, it already is, you piece of shit. It is a Muslim republic already. The vast majority of Egyptians are Muslims. The vast majority of them support it. It's not Sharia law, it's Islamic law. It's the Sharia al-Islami. Is a vast majority, including the Christian Pope, including the Coptic Christian Pope, supports it the Sharia al-Islami, and articles and Egyptian law. We take our laws from Islam. So yes, it's already a Muslim republic. Okay, I don't know why people keep on assuming that Egypt is this like secular country. It's not. It is not. It is not a secular country. Okay, and I'm proud to say that. I'm not ashamed of myself. Yes, it isn't a secular country. And if an Egyptian says that, you don't know what they're saying. What secularism even means.
The Muslim Brotherhood isn't the only radical group in this country. Here we can also find the Salafists, who pursue the same goals but by different means. The guys you see on the screen now, they're Muslim brothers.
The Salafis, or the really strict Muslims that have beards. I don't use that term Salafis that much. They aren't terrorists and they're against the Muslim Brotherhood. They aren't terrorists either. Like, they actually love it. They love actually El Sisi. They actually love El Sisi. They have like their own party, El Noor party. Yeah, they have their own party in Noor, and they side with El Sisi. So yes, you do side with El Sisi. And they are terrorists, and they're against the Muslim Brotherhood. That's pretty much it. And I don't know why you keep on saying they're radicals. They didn't blow anything up. Cut the bullshit, dude.
As you can see, they dress in a very Western fashion.
Okay? A lot of Egyptians dress like that. No, dude. Does it? They just look like normal Egyptians. How do you know they're Muslim Brotherhood? Secondly, a lot of Egyptians dress like that. They look like typical Egyptians. I mean, like almost all Egyptians dress like that. Does it mean that they're Muslim Brotherhood? You dumb piece of shit. Secondly, like I mean like non-Muslims, kuffar, dress like in t-shirts and stuff too. I mean, like if they don't have beards, like does it mean that they do, just because they don't have beards or like wearing galabiyas, it doesn't mean that they're part of the Muslim Brotherhood. Like, the vast majority of the Egyptian population don't have beards, or like beards like the Salafis have, or wear galabiyas. Okay, they wear normal clothes like what you see in the picture. So yeah, just because some Egyptians, just because like the Muslim Brotherhood don't have beards. Well, some of them do have beards, but just because some members of the Muslim Brotherhood wear Western clothing, does it mean that the rest of the Egyptians that wear Western clothing are Muslim Brotherhood sympathizers or members?
jeans, t-shirts, hoodies, etc. Now,
Yeah, so Sudum is the vast majority of Egyptians. What's your fucking point?
these other guys are the Salafist members. Do you see the difference? Salafis have traditional Muslim clothes, beards, and the zebibar on their foreheads created after hitting the ground so many times while praying to Mecca.
Okay, so does it mean they're terrorists or extremists? They're like strict, yes, but but okay, that's not a bad thing. Well, at least I don't see it as a bad thing. I actually prefer Salafis over Muslim Brotherhood members any day. They're not terrorists, and no need to call them Salafis. Just call them Muslims. Um, so yeah, like, and also, does it mean that someone has a beard? Does it mean that they're Muslim either? I mean, like the Kuffar of Quraysh had beards. So yeah, like having a beard doesn't mean that you're a Muslim. Like a beard is not a requirement to be Muslim. So yeah, Simon, you're an idiot. Oh yeah, by the way, not all Salafis are terrorists. Not all so-called Salafis are terrorists.
As you can probably figure out from their name, the Salafis want to live like the first Muslims, the so-called Salaf, did. However, the Muslim Brothers are way more pragmatic and better organized.
No, dude. Salaf means التابعين والصحابة. Well, that's what I heard. I could be wrong, but that's what the Salaf means. Or at least what I heard it means. Yeah. And no, the Muslim Brotherhood aren't pragmatic. The Muslim Brotherhood like blow up stuff, they kill people, and they do other horrible things. And what's worse is that they con people like you and con or like scam Muslims that are in like Muslims that are born in America who don't know a whole lot about the group. They like scams them into giving them money, and the Muslims that think and the Muslims that give the Muslim Brotherhood the money, they think they're a good group, that they don't wage terrorists and stuff. They don't do terrorist things, but in reality they do terrorist things, and they're worse than the so-called Salafi Muslims. So yeah, like I like the Salafis. I don't have a problem with them, as you don't blow up stuff, as you don't kill people. They're really religious, which is a good thing. I get, which is a good thing. I don't see it as a bad thing. So yeah, like I have no problem with them. I don't know like why some Egyptians have a problem with them. They didn't do anything. They didn't blow up stuff, and they love the Sisi. So I have no problem with them. So yeah, they're okay. And they're more pragmatic than the Muslim Brotherhood, as they don't kill people or terrorize people. So anyway, continue, Simon.
Organized. Their members infiltrate government institutions, and they have no problem disguising their intentions when they speak to the Western media.
You know what? Actually, if what you're saying is true, they're pretty much intelligent. But I highly doubt that they're intelligent as you describe them as. I highly doubt that. But first off, the Muslim Brotherhood are fucking dumb, dude. Not all Muslims. There's nothing. There's nothing wrong with the concept of brotherhood in Islam. Anyway, I know like this camera like is like it kind of like hides half my face. Anyway. I'm just like wiping out the like saliva that came out of my mouth. Yeah. Yeah, like I mean, like the president Mohammed Morsi is really dumb as bricks. Like if they were like as smart as you describe them, like if they were smart as you describe them as, they would like still be like the rulers of Egypt right now if they were smart as the way that you're describing them right now. Um, yeah, no, I highly doubt that. So yes, some of them are smart, but the leading figures are a bunch of back of idiots. So yeah, continue.
We are not terrorists. The Muslim Brotherhood's philosophy is inspired by an understanding of Islam that emphasizes the values of social justice, equality, and the rule of law. Gahad El Haddad, spokesperson.
No, 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 no. Okay, yes. The first statement: we are not terrorists. Yes, some of them aren't terrorists, like Abu Trika. However, they give money to the organization, which and they sometimes use that money to commit terrorism. So yes, that is kind of true. Yes, the first statement. Yes, but anyway, if they know if the fuck the Muslim Brotherhood sympathizers that donate money to the Muslim Brotherhood, who knows they commit terrorism. Um, no, death to them. Um, also, I really should like use a different word other than fuck because it really doesn't mean shit. Doesn't mean anything. It means like fuck. I mean like it means like something disgusting, I guess. Um, yeah. Um, the Muslim Brotherhood's, I'll use that quote for now. The Muslim Brotherhood's philosophy is inspired by an understanding of Islam. Okay, some of them understand Islam, but okay. That emphasizes the values of social justice, equality, and the rule of law. Okay, the last statement is bullshit. Um, Equality is bullshit. Social justice, what you just said about social justice and equality is bullshit. And by the way, like the Muslim budget, you really shouldn't use that terms because you're saying what the Americans think of social justice and equality is very different than what the Muslim Brotherhood think is social justice and equality. Like for example, like when they say equality, the Americans, most Americans think, oh, faggot marriages, they're okay with faggot marriages, which they are not, or no Muslim should be okay with. Like no Muslim should be okay with faggot marriages. So yeah, and like the rule of law, for the last statement, the rule of law, that's the most bullshit part. No, they didn't follow the law. In Egypt, they commit crimes, they commit murder, um, which is against Islam, and skilled innocence, which is against Islam. Yeah, you know, they don't emphasize the last statement, the last example. Social justice, same thing with the equality statement that I just said. This, I'm like if I explain it, I'm going to say the same thing that I said for the equality statement. So yeah, I think you know about that. So I continue.
For the Muslim Brotherhood.
In other words, both the Salafis and the Muslim Brotherhood have the same goals but different strategies. Today, the
No, they don't have the same goals or different strategies. No, they have different strategies. Yes, they don't blow up stuff and stuff. They don't kill people. They don't slaughter people. The Salafis don't do that. But the Muslim Brotherhood do. Anyway, but like I'm sorry, like I stutter a lot because I have an accent. But the Salafis aren't terrorists. The Muslim Brotherhood are terrorists. Some of them are, most of them. Um. Yeah, like so they have three different goals. So as the strategies are different. They don't, the Salafists don't blow up people, but the Muslim Brotherhood blow up people. So you have different strategies. The Salafists are peaceful, the Muslim Brotherhood aren't. They have different strategies in that way, but they have different goals in Egypt. Okay, so yeah.
Salafists have a political party called Al-Noor, and this has nothing to do with the Muslim Brothers. As you can imagine, the radicals don't
At least you said something correct for once.
like each other very much. Remember this.
And here we go again. He said the radicals don't like each other very much. Secondly, firstly, the Salafists aren't radical. The Salafists aren't radicals. They don't blow up stuff, and they don't kill people. I mean, by your definition, at least, of radical. Well, not really by your definition, but like the general Egyptian definition. The Salafists aren't radical. The Muslim Brotherhood, because they like kill people, they like slaughter people, they're radical, yes. But here's the thing, on the side note, um, if the Muslim Brotherhood was radical and they followed the Islam very, very closely, like very closely, which is not extreme, by the way, if they followed the Quran very closely, they won't like kill people. Because here's the thing of the Western definition. The West, I mean, like the atheist or the secular atheist humanist definition of religious extremism is different than the general one or the Egyptian one. Like, for example, like their definition of extremism is because it thinks the atheists, the secular atheists, think that if someone like follows the Quran very closely, he would commit acts of terrorism and killing and slaughter, which is untrue. Okay, if they follow the Quran very closely, they would be peaceful and fair. But however, just because how but however, because the secular atheists think that the Quran, well, at least most of the secular anti-theist atheists think that the Quran is full of like instructions to kill innocent people, to wage slaughter against innocents. Okay, because they think the Muslims that don't they think the Muslims that are like the Muslim Brotherhood that don't follow the Quran closely, at least most of them, they don't that like kill people and go against Islam, and like kill innocents, which is against Islam. They think that they're following their Quran that way, and they're very religious in that way. That's what the secular anti-theist scumbags think. What that extremist is. They think that the Quran is full of instructions to kill innocents, and they think that that Muslims who kill innocent people, which is against Islam. They think that Muslims who kill against they think Muslims that kill innocent people are actually following their books very closely, which is not the case, which is very untrue. They aren't following the Quran very closely. If they were, they wouldn't. If they were following the Quran very closely, they wouldn't kill innocent people. they wouldn't kill innocent people if they were following the Quran very closely. Okay, does everyone hear me? If they were following the Quran very closely, they wouldn't kill innocent people. Continue, you bold moron.
because we will come back to it later. Anyway, during the 1980s, the military dictatorship of Hosni Mubarak attacked both of these groups. In fact,
Dude, fuck you. It's not a military dictatorship. Okay, people had the right to vote in his rule. Unfortunately, some people, a lot of people didn't. Like for example, a year before 2011, the year before 2011, before the Arab Spring Revolution, there was like an election to uh, uh, to choose the next president. Now he elected himself, and the reason he won is because a whole lot of people did not choose to go voting this year. That's why he still remained in 2010. And Arab Spring, the protests in Egypt, and my throat from talking a whole lot like really hurts. Um, I need to drink some water. Um, so when the protests first started in Egypt, it was like for like not serious stuff. Like it wasn't for serious stuff. Like mm, like they wanted simple rule changes or like law changes at first. So here's the thing. Here's what brought him down. What brought Hosni Mubarak down. Um, he responded late to the demands, and by that time the Muslim Brotherhood has already like infiltrated the 2011 revolution. So that's why like it got bigger at the end.
since the year 1981, Egypt has been in a never-ending state of emergency where every political dissident is sent to jail.
Well, not really. I mean, like a whole lot of people, a lot of dissidents weren't sent to jail. So no, that's untrue. Now some dissidents, yes, were sentenced to jail, but some of them, but a lot of them were like Muslim Brotherhood scum. So anyway, so who cares anyway? I mean, like a lot of dissidents that were arrested, a lot of dissidents that were arrested were like the vast majority of them were Rab'a and Muslim Brotherhood scum. So I mean, like why are you bringing it up? Like you don't care anyway. So I mean, like that's good news for you. You don't like the Muslim Brotherhood.
This means thousands of Salafists and Muslim brothers spending decades behind bars. And
Dude, no. You did bullshit. You did something bullshit. No. The Salafis did not go to jail because they didn't do any terrorism or anything like that. The Muslim Brotherhood, the reason that they were thrown in jail is because a whole lot of them were committing terrorism. That's why a lot of them went to jail. Okay, so cut the bullshit.
as you can imagine, neither the European Union nor the United States did anything to stop this. At the end of the day, nobody wanted to see the
No, actually, America tried to do something, but they couldn't because Egypt was too strong for them.
Islamic radicals in the government.
There weren't any Islamic radicals in the government. Well, no, Sisi removed them.
If this was not
Actually, they actually wanted so-called Islamic radicals in the government. because I don't consider the Muslim Brotherhood to be like following the I mean, like, if there was so-called um I mean, like, no, actually, America actually wanted that outcome. They wanted the terrorists to rule Egypt. They wanted the terrorists. America wanted the terrorists to rule Egypt. Actually, they did a whole lot of stuff. In fact, they paid Muhammad Morsi, Obama, the nigger, paid Muhammad, Muhammad Morsi, not Muhammad. They paid Muhammad Morsi $2 billion to give Sina to Hamas to sell out a part of his country. That's why, I mean, like, that's why you're full of shit. But Obama actually wanted the Muslim Brotherhood to be in power. He actually was with them, and he wanted this because he wanted to divide up and weaken Egypt. That's why Obama, the nigger, wanted the terrorists to rule Egypt. That's why.
Not enough, after the Yom Kippur War, Egypt had become a good ally of Israel.
Fuck no.
And their economy.
Fuck no. Fuck that shit. No, we aren't allies of Israel. Fuck no. Don't put words in our mouths like that. Don't like use us with something that is disgusting like that. Fuck you. No, we aren't allies, you piece of shit. The reason that we had to sign the peace treaty is because because if we continue the war, there was like a chance that we would have lost the Sinai Peninsula that we took back in the October 6th war. That's why we signed the peace treaty. Okay? If America hadn't intervened in the war, we would have annihilated Israel. Okay, Egypt would have annihilated Israel. So cut the bullshit, Simon. Cut the bullshit, Simon. You fucking retard.
It was on fire. Think about it. This country has all the ingredients for a world-class tourism industry. The pyramids, the Nile.
No, dude. Our economy didn't boom because of Israel. Fuck no. Fuck no. It boomed because we have a very good tourism industry, and actually our economy was way better before the creation of Israel. So suck it.
The desert, the Red Sea. You can say that by the year 2000, you couldn't label yourself a traveler if you didn't have an Egyptian stamp on your passport. So for 30 years, Mubarak had a free pass to rule Egypt. But wait just a second, because in 2011, things really changed.
Yeah, I know. That's how I was summoned in America.
Mubarak signals Egypt's succession by taking Son to Washington.
This again. He really shouldn't have done this. He really should have, like, if he wanted his son to be like president, he should have like made an election, and he would have like should have made like an election in order to make the Egyptian people to choose between his son or someone else. You see what I mean? He shouldn't have done this. Yes, he should have done an election. Yes. So yes. Yes. What he did wasn't a good thing when he wanted his son to be the president of Egypt. but it's understandable. He is his son. He probably loves him, so yeah, he wants the best for him. But no, he shouldn't have like made his son the president of Egypt without the consent of the Egyptian people, without the permission of the Egyptian people.
News like this one made both the citizens and some factions of the army equally enraged.
Factions of the army. The army was okay with Mubarak, I guess. I mean, like, no, people weren't okay with it, but I don't know about the military. I might be wrong, but you're probably wrong about this too.
Having a dictator is one thing, having a hereditary dynasty of power is quite another.
Not really, actually. No, seriously, not really. And military dictatorship. Egypt is not a military dictatorship. It's a democracy. Now, it's not a filthy democracy like America or Great Britain, which allows faggot marriages. But it's a democracy. We allow people to change the president. In fact, we're more democratic than America. Because they're saying we don't need to wait a term to vote for our president. Like for example, like in Morsi. In Morsi, he stayed a year, and we got rid of him in a year. Like we don't need to wait terms to choose another president. Like for example, we don't need to wait a 4-year term to elect another president. Fuck no, fuck no. We get rid of him whenever we want. You piece of shit. So yeah, basically, that's pretty much it.
This is how the Arab Spring came to Egypt and why Mubarak had to resign. A year later, parliamentary and presidential elections were held. We're talking about a country that has spent decades under a dictatorship.
Oh my gosh. I want to eat brownies. It's not a dictatorship like I just said, dude. Dude, you're hurting my mouth. No, it's not a dictatorship. Please don't say that again. It's not. It's not a dictatorship. The military in Egyptian society is looked up to. Because it's pretty much the vast majority of Egyptian men are military veterans. So yes, most Egyptian men are part of the military. So that's why the military is big in Egypt. Okay? And we chose that. Like the military didn't force us onto us. They did not force themselves onto us. We love the military, and we look up to them, and we love them. Okay, we aren't against them. So cut the bullshit.
Country where the only strong political movements, other than the government itself, were the Salafists and the Muslim Brotherhood. So, guess who won those elections? Yes, it was the Muslim Brotherhood, led by the guy you see on the screen now, Mohammed Morsi.
Yeah, I know him. He's a fucking cow that was in the 11th election, unfortunately.
But wait a minute, because things are way more complex. Unless you are Saudi Arabia and you are sitting on a pile of oil, radical Islam isn't good for managing an economy. So in less than...
Why is it not? Yeah, Egypt is already a Muslim country. It's got the bullshit. Why is it not? It's an amazing way to run an economy. Islam is amazing. Islam is a good religion.
1 year, Egypt's economy, it absolutely sank.
No, that's because the Arab Spring, you piece of shit. Not because it's a Muslim country. Okay, Egypt was forever, like Egypt for a long time was a Muslim country, and its economy was good. In fact, back then, uh, is the Egyptian company was way stronger than it is now. The reason that the economy is was weak in 2012 is because of the Arab Revolution and Obama's a nigger, you stupid bald fuck.
Thousands of people lost their jobs and inflation
Yeah, that's because of the Arabs.
skyrocketed. Meanwhile,
Because the 2011 revolution. The 2011 revolution it, um, uh, it is the source of all of the problems that Egypt is facing today.
Morsi's main goal was to Islamize the government,
It is already a Muslim government, you dumbass.
stop the division of power, and shield his own power.
Dude, cut the bullshit, man. Okay, Egypt is already was already a Muslim country before Morsi took over. Before Morsi was elected president. Okay, and in fact, let me tell you this. A whole lot of people don't know this. Morsi, okay, Morsi extended, because they're saying in Egypt to run a bar, you have to like have a license that you renew every like 1 year. Here's the thing, Morsi, when he was president, he extended the renewal period to 3 years, not 1 year. So no, that's what you just said is bullshit.
Then you've got to add into this equation the army. As we said before, Egyptian defense forces are no big fan of Islamist groups.
No, we aren't fans of Islamists by your definition or the Egyptian definition. By the Egyptian definition, yeah, we aren't fans of Islamist groups. But by your definition, the vast majority of Egyptian soldiers actually like love the Sharia Islamic law. So yeah, like by your, so I don't know what definition of Islamists that you use, but if you use the average Western definition of Islamists, then that it doesn't really make sense, because the Egyptian army, the vast majority of them are Muslims who support uh, Egypt to be a Muslim country. Like for example, like if you, including the Christian soldiers, because in Egypt in Egypt we let the Christian men and the Muslim men to join the Egyptian army. Um, if you ask your average, if you ask your average Egyptian soldier, are you okay with Islam being Egypt's religion? He would say, yeah, I'm okay with it. So yeah, by the Western, by the Western definition of Islamists, the average Egyptian soldier is an Islamist. But by the definition of the Egyptian, by the definition of the Egyptians, he is not an Islamist. So, yeah, when Egyptians say Islamists, what do we mean by that? Is terrorists, not people who support the Sharia Islami or support Islam being the state religion of a country. That's our definition of Islamists. Our definition of Islamists are terrorists who kill innocent people. That's our definition. Okay. Okay. The Egyptian people are okay with Islam being the state religion of Egypt, and they're okay with Islamic law to be enforced in Egypt. The majority of Egyptians are okay with Islam being the state religion and enforcing Islamic law. They're okay with this. By the definition of the Western secular anti-theist scumbags, most Egyptians are Islamists, including the Pope of the Christians, the Pope of the Egyptian Christians. So yeah, your definition of Islamists are bullshit.
And this is how a new player came into the picture. Marshal Abdel Fattah el-Sisi was the head of the Egyptian armed forces.
Yeah, and he's amazing, by the way. He's not a dictator like you say, you piece of shit.
He met the leaders of the opposing parties, including the Salafists, and basically said something like, okay, so look, Morsi and his friends, they're really screwing up the government. Help me set up a coup d'etat, and we can put things back in order.
No, fuck you!
And as we say here at Visual Politics,
no, fuck you, no, it wasn't a coup d'etat. The revolution of 2013 wasn't a coup d'etat. Okay? It wasn't a military revolution. No, it was the people's revolution. It was a real revolution, unlike the 2011 revolution. Okay? And stop putting words in El Sisi's mouth. Okay? He didn't say any of that. He didn't say any of what you said. You piece of shit. You bald fuck. He didn't say anything like that. You piece of shit. Stop putting words on his mouth. In his mouth. You piece of shit. Stop doing that bullshit. Anyway, I don't know like how many minutes we're at right now. I don't know, like I'm pretty sure like this video will end up being like 40 minutes long, or even more by now.
politics, as it was said, so it was done.
What?
Land of the Pharaohs.
Amazing.
By the year 2013, the Egyptian army kicked Morsi out of the government.
I'm glad that happened. We kicked him out too. It was because of the Egyptian people that Morsi got kicked out. Because the military is loyal to the Egyptian people, not loyal to the Muslim Brotherhood.
Their first policy was to make the Muslim Brotherhood an illegal organization again. Of
Amazing.
course, protesters went to the streets, and hundreds of them died, and thousands of them were sent to jail.
No, because you know why? You know why? Because you see, the Muslim Brotherhood shot at their very own protesters in order to make the Egyptian army look like they're the ones who done the killing, which in reality they didn't do. Is they didn't shoot at anyone of the protesters who did not have any weapons. Okay? So that's untrue. They did not shoot willy-nilly like that, as you make them out to be. And the people that got arrested, the protesters that got arrested, they got arrested because of many reasons. First off, they didn't have a license to protest. Like, they didn't ask permission first to protest. They didn't have like a certificate to protest. Secondly, a whole lot of them were terrorists, as it killed people. Thirdly, they kept on causing chaos. Okay, and they were like hanging up the traffic. That's the three reasons. The Egyptian army did not shoot shoot the protesters who didn't have guns. They shot at the ones who were doing the shooting at the protesters. Yes, that is very much true, but they did not shoot the protesters who didn't have any weapons with them.
But in June of 2014, new elections were held, and I say elections here because there was virtually a single candidate.
Yeah, fuck you, man. What else would you want? No, seriously, what else do you want? There was elections. Okay, here's the problem with these fucking people. Here's the problem with you pieces of shit, like you. Okay, here's the thing. Like, if you do, like, these people complain, okay, about, oh, in Egypt there's no elections, there's no freedom, it's a dictatorship. And when when elections happen, okay, when elections happen, when their demands are met, the demands of these people are met, okay, they say, oh, it's still not freedom. It's not freedom. He's trying to imply that the elections were a fraud, which they weren't. You piece of shit. The vast majority of people, voted for El Sisi. Okay, there was only one candidate, yes, running against him, yes, but that shows that the Egyptian government did not force anyone to choose the president. Okay, there was two candidates. First off, okay, that one was the Sisi, and one candidate that was running against him. He wasn't really popular. No one knew him, and and that's the reason that no one voted for him, dude. That's the reason that no one voted for him, you piece of shit. Okay, that's the reason that no one voted for the guys that ran against him. Okay. So and here's the thing: the guys that ran against El Sisi, the Egyptian government allowed him to run against El Sisi, which shows that the elections weren't frauds. You piece of shit. If the elections were frauds, then why would they let someone run against El Sisi? Okay, and it shows that the elections weren't frauds. What else do you fucking want, you bald fuck? What else do you want, you piece of shit? What do you want? What else do you want? I know what you want. You want Egypt to be like a filthy, disgusting country like America, where gay marriage is allowed, where drinking is allowed, where zina is allowed. That's what you want. You want the Egyptians to leave Islam, and you want them to be ex-Muslim scum. You want them to be kuffar like you piece of shit. That's what you want. You don't want freedom. You want freedom, but based on your terms and Western people's terms, not our terms. And you could, and you, and this pretty tells me that these people don't want to have enough. I mean, like, if we do an election, so we just say, oh, it's a fraud, and they would try to imply. He didn't say it's a fraud, but he implies it is. He implies it is a fraud, which wasn't true, because here's the thing: The vast majority of people support El Sisi. Uh, and in the 2014 elections, the vast majority of people voted for El Sisi. Even disabled people who had both of their legs cut off dragged themselves just to vote for El Sisi. So people chose El Sisi. Okay? He, he didn't take power by force, is like what you're implying. He didn't take power by force. He let people choose him. He didn't force people to choose him. People choose him out of their own free will. You piece of shit. You liar. And guess what, you piece of shit? In the next election, okay, El Sisi is going to run. And guess what? In the next election, El Shafi, the guy who ran against Morsi, is going to run against El Sisi. Okay, so there's two candidates, El Sisi and El Shafi. El Sisi would mob the fucking floor with him, metaphorically, not literally. Basically, the two candidates that are going to run in the 2017 elections are El Sisi and El Shafi. El Sisi is going to win. Because here's the thing, El Shafi is a scumbag who is unpopular towards the Egyptian society. Okay? Do you know what he did? I'm pretty sure you know what he did. He went to the Arab Emirates, I guess, and like he went to the news station of the United Arab Emirates, and he kept on talking shit and crap about El Sisi, and the United Arab Emirates felt embarrassed that this whole fiasco, this whole scandal happened, and they were and they felt ashamed of El Shafi, and they said, "Dude, we're treating you like in a nice way, dude. Don't humiliate us like that. Okay, don't make us look bad like that." And El Shafi said a whole lot of bullshit in United Arab Emirates TV. He said a whole lot of bullshit, basically. So yeah.
Al-Sisi, and he managed to get 97% of the vote.
Good for him. You go, Sisi. I support you. I support you, Sisi.
The other accepted candidate was a guy with a 0% chance of winning called Habdim Sabahi.
Well, duh. He's not popular, and he's not well known. So he's very brave. He went against El Sisi, which is a very popular candidate.
He got the other 3% of the vote. So maybe you've seen the movie The Dark Knight.
Hey, 3% of the vote. Okay? So it further proves that the elections were free.
There's this amazing quote. It says, "You either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain." Well, this could have been coined by El-Sisi himself.
No, dude, he's not a villain. Shut the fuck up. He cares about the people. He cares about the people. El Sisi cares about his people. And he treats his people very nicely. And he loves Egypt. And he's a very religious man, by the way. And by the way, he supports Islamic law. He supports Islam being the state religion of Egypt. He's a very religious man. He's a very down-to-earth and religious man. So yeah. Yeah. You're wrong about him.
In fact, in the past few years, Egypt has become the world's #1 leader in people given the death penalty.
Amazing. You know what? The people in like the Perside Stadium, the 500 people that were sentenced to this, they fucking deserve it. They fucking deserve it. They're a bunch of fucking terrorist scumbags.
But not only that, in just 3 years, the government has closed over 27,000 mosques. Further, there is
Citation needed.
no freedom of speech whatsoever.
Yeah, and what you mean by that is that What is this bullshit? What he means by freedom of speech, basically what Simon wants here is basically he wants the Egyptian government to allow the insulting. Simon Whistler basically wants the Egyptian government to allow people to insult the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. That's what Simon Whistler wants. That's what he wants. It's a piece of shit who wants that. That's what he wants. Simon Whistler is a piece of shit who hates the Egyptian people, who hates Arabs, who hates Islam and Muslims. And Simon Whistler is doesn't know what he is talking about. And he also wants the Egyptian government to allow people to insult El Sisi. Basically, that's what he wants. So yeah. Now he did not say it. He did not say it. He did not say he wants that, but he's implying it. Okay? And from what I know, from what I know, he's implying the stuff that I just said.
And yes, I know what you're thinking here, the Islamic fanatics are pretty angry about this. Well, actually, the opposite is true. Do you remember how I said that the Salafists and the Muslim Brothers aren't good friends? Well, I was definitely not kidding about that.
Egypt's ultra-conservative Islamists back ISIS.
ISIS? It's Sisi, dumb fuck. Back ISIS, man. Back ISIS. You don't even write. Your assistant doesn't even read right. Fuck off. No, dude. Yeah. The Salafis aren't extremists. The Salafis, the Noor party, doesn't like. Is a Muslim Brotherhood because they're a bunch of terrorists who terrorize people who don't follow Islam, who don't follow some of the rules of Islam. I mean, some of them might pray, but they still break rules, they still kill people and stuff. They're still bad, and they still murder people, which is against Islam.
Seek to eclipse Brotherhood.
But wait just a minute, because things are not good for the Salafists.
Hopefully they would eclipse the Brotherhood. I hope the Salafis win against the Brotherhood.
Either. Of course, El-Sisi gave them enough freedom so they could fill the roles left by the Muslim Brothers.
Dude, why you keep on fucking speculating like that? Why you keep on speculating like that and assuming stuff? No, dude, don't assume. Dude, don't assume and speculate like that. Okay? What you just said is untrue. Anyone could make a political party like Al Noor, like a Hizb, whatever Neg is in, my dad's brother's in, Al Waf party, I guess. Okay, so yeah, I guess so. So yes, so yeah, no, dude. El-Sisi, El-Sisi left them alone because they weren't terrorists, and that's the case for other parties too. For the Wafd party, for whatever party, that's equal towards all parties. He left other parties because they weren't terrorists too, and he left other parties alone because they weren't terrorists, including the Noor party. He left them because they weren't terrorists. He left them alone and he left other parties alone. He left the Noor party alone because they weren't terrorists. He left other parties alone because they weren't terrorists. Okay, that's the reason.
But those Egyptian believers who want to go to a mosque have to go to those controlled by the El Azhar Imamate, which is under governmental control. But
And not really. What you just said is wrong. Someone could build a mosque. Like what you just said is wrong, dude. Okay. Um. Um. Yeah. Anyone could build a mosque. In fact, building a mosque, like for example, like if a rich guy or someone, not even a rich guy, someone built a mosque, it's looked favorably upon. It is looked on favorably on. It it is looked favorably on. Okay, so yes, it's a good thing. The vast majority of people think it's a good thing. The vast majority of people in Egypt, that is at least, think it's a good thing.
you know what the biggest problem is here? There are less and less believers in Egypt.
Excuse me, bitch. Where's the highest population of Muslims in the Middle East? You dumb fuck.
The percentage of youngsters who pray daily has halved in less than 5 years.
Okay. Does it mean that some people don't pray in the mosques just because some Egyptians don't pray in the mosque? Does it mean that they're kuffar? You dumb idiot.
According to the Arab Barometer, in the year 2011, 84% of the population supported Sharia law influencing politics. In 2016, that percentage fell to 34%.
But not
No, that's bullshit. No, what you just said is bullshit. The vast majority of people in Egypt support the Sharia Islami. It's Islamic law, not Sharia law. Islamic law. Secondly, what you just said is bullshit. Notice how they didn't bring up an article. They mentioned an article, but they didn't bring up an article. No, what you just said about Egyptians not believing in Sharia law, like for example, like about the 34% thinking that they want Sharia law. No, that's bullshit. Almost 93% is the highest figure I found support the Sharia Islam. Um, yeah. So that's bullshit. Um, in fact, let's take a look at pure research. Yeah, that's amazing. Look at that. Let's see here. Egypt. Ah, okay. So like the vast majority of Egyptians, and like from what I saw from the link, like if you look down upon a bit, like below the website, if you like look down on the I don't know how to explain it. Basically, if you like look down, let me type it. Let me type it. Yeah, that's the website that I clicked on. If you look here, it's August 2017, so it's recent. And like Pew Research, so that's the website I clicked on. And Pew Research are like, how should I explain this? Like they're like very like a reputable source, like a very good source about like population numbers and stuff. And like it says right here, Egypt 74 of Egyptians support التشريع الإسلامي. So yeah. So yeah, what Simon and Simon's assistant said is bullshit. What he said is untrue. So yeah. Um Now I don't know, some Egyptians are well, I heard some Egyptians are against the Tashir Islami, and those Egyptians are fucking weak. So yeah. Uh so yeah. I don't know why some Egyptians are like that. So yeah. Also, I'll do more. Also, I will do more videos soon. Um. So yeah. Also, I realized something in the like the Sharia law support. There's like according to this website, there are some Muslims that don't support Sharia law all that much. التشريع الإسلامي. And this the thing is like it's taking like a long time to like get on with this video, I know, but like I will do more videos soon. By the way, like don't worry, like guys, like if you think this is the only video I'm going to do, don't worry. I will do more videos soon. Um, so yeah. Also, to the Muslims, to the people of Egypt, to the people of Egypt, especially if you're Muslim, to the people of Egypt, if you're Muslim, if you think to the people of Egypt in Turkey and any other countries, okay, that think that like secular law should be like imp- implemented in like Muslim countries, you're wrong. And here's the thing: the Prophet Muhammad, Rasulullah Muhammad, Sayyidina Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam, okay, he did not do secularism. He enforced the rules of Islam. Like for example, there was this like woman who like committed adultery. He issued an order to be for her to be stoned. Okay, so he did not enforce secular law. He enforced التشريع الإسلامي. Okay, so the Muslims who think Sharia law is better than Islamic law, they're wrong. And none of his friends implemented secular law. In fact, let me tell you this, guys. Let me tell you this. The first secular country was the United States of America, and the guy who wrote the Constitution, Thomas Jefferson, from what I heard, he wasn't a Christian. In fact, he ripped pages out of the Bible. So yeah.
Not only that, El-Sisi himself celebrates the Christian Christmas in the Coptic Cathedral of Cairo.
I'll be right back. I'm back again. Um, and also, okay, so I had to do something. I'm back again to continue the video. Um, so yeah, like he basically just said that like the Egyptian president like celebrates like Christmas every year. Okay, does it mean he's secular? He's a religious person that supports Islamic law, and and supports Islam being the country's religion in Egypt. So you're full of shit. Like El Sisi is not what you think he is. Okay. Yeah. Continue.
It's becoming more and more secular.
No, it isn't. Cut the bullshit. And okay, maybe in the far future, some retards might try to make it secular, but overall, Egypt will stay wood. Egypt, like yeah, like I mean, I mean, yes, there are some like ex-Muslims in Egypt that are trying to make Egypt a secular country, but at the end of the day, Egypt will remain a Muslim country, whether you like it or not. It will remain a Muslim country. Whether the anti-theists in America or in Britain or whatever like it or not, Egypt would stay a Muslim country. Okay, so suck it. Simon Whistler, you're a moron. Okay, Simon, you are a moron.
But before you get too excited, wait just a moment, because this could change at any moment. First of all, El-Sisi's popularity fell in 2017. A good
No, it didn't. A whole lot of people still love him. You liar.
share of Egyptians do not like the fact that he gave Saudi Arabia sovereignty over 2 islands in the Red Sea. They all
Yeah, well, like, is there kind of right to be mad? He didn't do anything wrong, but he is wrong in this case. Yes, you are right. Well, you are not right, but yes, El Sisi is wrong in this case. Um, but here's the thing. Um, um, but here's the thing. Like, Sisi is not a sellout to his country. Also, um, is Sanafir and Tehran, the 2 islands that he sold, it actually originally belonged to Egypt. So yes, he's wrong in that case when people say, oh, it originally belonged to Saudi Arabia. No, it belonged to Egypt first. Okay, so yeah, at least you said something that isn't like incorrect or anything. I still love him. I still love El Sisi. Um, and most Egyptians still love El Sisi. Most Egyptians still love El Sisi. So yeah, like, and most Arabs and most Egyptians and most Muslims love El Sisi. Continue.
Also, don't like the repression either. In
Actually, we aren't repressed, so stop lying, you piece of shit.
fact, news like this kind of resembles Mubarak's times.
Well, Mubarak is a good president still. I mean, like, he didn't repress people. He repressed people that deserve to be repressed.
Egypt declares state of emergency after deadly church attacks.
Yeah, well, duh. It is an emergency. Duh. I mean, like, why are you fucking mad? Like, why are you fucking mad? Like, why did you bring even this article up, dude? Why did you even bring it up? You see, is there, like, I mean, like, there's no pleasing these types of people like Simon Whistler. Yeah, okay, it is a state of emergency. I mean, like, he declared it because there was a terrorist attack going on. It's not a bad thing. He's just worried about his people. LCC is worried about his people. That's why he declared a state of emergency, because to protect it to his people. He declared the state of emergency to protect his people. You dumb moron. And and there's like a whole lot of evil in your heart, Simon. You degenerate piece of shit. There's a whole lot of hatred towards Sisi in your heart, Simon. Sisi is not a bad person. He's a good person. He's way better than you, that's for sure.
On the other hand, the economy is most Egyptians' main worry. Despite the unemployment rate still going down, it's still over 12%, and these are the official figures.
Yeah, okay. I'm not surprised. Like, Egypt is always like this.
Some experts say that it might be over 20. And
Oh wow.
despite all of this, the government is working on Pharaoh-like projects.
Fairy what? Projects? No, dude. LCC, for your information, you idiot. Um, he did a whole lot of stuff. Like, he built buildings to house people in for free, by the way. Um, he is trying his best to improve Egypt. He's trying to he is trying his best to improve Egypt. Okay, he built buildings for people to live in, and he gave it to people for free, by the way. And he's trying his best. Like, when he like got in charge of the country wasn't doing that good, but thanks to him, the country is improving little by little. And he made like a whole lot of stuff. Like, he opened another port in the Suez Canal, to make to help the economy of Egypt. So he's not as bad as you portraying him, dipshit.
Egypt to build new capital paid for by China.
Add
Okay.
to this the terrorist attacks, and we can
He built the, you know why I don't know where did he get that, but if that's true, that's a good thing, because if he built a capital, more people would find homes in the capital. You piece of shit.
only conclude that El-Sisi's government is failing more than it is succeeding.
No, it is succeeding, you idiot. You liberal cock. Cut the bullshit, you liberal cock. No, El Sisi's government did a whole lot of good stuff, like I mentioned before. It built buildings for people to house them. He builds a new Suez Canal, a new part of Suez Canal to improve the Egyptian economy. Um, he opened factories that make food to give to give to people, and it's really high quality food at a really low price. By the way, you piece of shit liar. Why didn't you mention that? Why didn't you mention these three examples? You piece of shit. I know why. Because you hate Egypt, and those three examples go against your agenda.
So now the question is, do you believe Egypt can turn into a secular country the way
Fuck no. Fuck no. Fuck secularism.
neighboring Tunisia did?
Fuck Tunisia. No, not Tunisia, the country itself. But fuck the president. Fuck the president of Tunisia. It's a cock. or allowed women to marry kafirs, or he allowed he allowed Muslim women to marry kafirs. Shame on him. He and that's not the only thing that he did. The president of Tunisia, the president, the president of Tunisia, the president of Tunisia did the whole bad. Ah, my accent. The president of Tunisia did a whole lot of bad stuff in his country. He allowed the Muslim women to marry kafir men. He allowed, for example, like he made women, like if someone dies, like for example, like if a family, think of a family, if the dad's life goes out or dies, if the dad's life dies, if the dad dies, uh, uh, and he basically like changed the inheritance laws. Basically, when, like for example, like imagine this scenario, like a family, uh, one daughter, one son, a dad and a mother. When the dad dies, for example, his money, the president of Tunisia made it so in a way, uh, like no longer would like the son uh, get double inheritance, and the sister get half the inheritance, and the mom gets like 1/8 of the inheritance. No, he made both the women and the men get equal inheritance, which is against Islam, which is against the Quran. And the Quran clearly states that a woman should get half of a man's, and the man should get doubles of a woman, and the mother should get 1/8 of the money, and the mother should get 1/8 of the inheritance or the money. So yeah, the president of Tunisia is a piece of shit.
Or do you think El Sisi's government is deja vu of Mubarak's, and that eventually we will see a brand new Arab Spring in this
Nah, I hope not, at least. So go fuck yourself.
country? Well, please leave your answer in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. And if you want to know what happened in Tunisia, well, do check out this other video. And of course, visit our
Can Tunisian democracy survive Islamism? You know what? I would rather, you know what? To answer your question, for in that like iCard thing, to answer your question, I would rather have Islamists rule Tunisia than a secular cock. To answer your question, I would prefer Islamists over secular cocks any day. Islamists are better than Islamists are better than secular cocks like you, Simon, and are better than the Tunisian president.
friends at Reconsider Media. They provide the vocals in this episode that are not mine. And don't forget to subscribe. We publish brand new videos every single week, so hit that subscribe button and catch every post. And also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And as always, I'll see you next time.
And if you want to learn more about politics and hear even more of my lovely voice, you can join us at Reconsider Media. We have a podcast at reconsidermedia.com/podcast. See you there.
So that's it, guys, I guess. So stay tuned for more videos soon, guys. So Samuel Whistler is a piece of shit, basically. So yeah, bye, guys. I'll do more videos soon. This has been a very long video, so I apologize for that. Or I won't. No, fuck no, I won't apologize for that. But like, yeah, like I'm sorry, but I'm sorry if you like got the wrong idea from my video, or like got like misunderstood parts of my words because I have an accent, a shitty accent. So I'm sorry about that. So yeah, bye, guys. Have an awesome day, and I'll see you guys later.